here on the Sunday Swim Show, the top 10 question with collegiate coaches.
He's probably one of the guys that, you get 5 medals at the Olympics, you're walking out with 2 of them gold, and pretty good performances, even the spots where there's a couple off, place off or 2. They were really good performances. And in that dynamic in a big program, but yet there's some aspect that some people want to make it unsuccessful in. We chose to bite off a real big program, and there's some good aspects to it. We got a lot of medals. There's probably an aspect to it that if we maybe swum an event less here and there, we might have won 2. We might have won the 200 IM. It's kind of what you. But it was a good experience. Ryan's real good to work with. From the standpoint of working with other countries, there's not quite the same pressure. You're the head coach for Thailand. They've got some athletes they're planning on doing well. There's certainly an expectation from their federations and their countries, but in some of those cases they're competing more for time than they are. They break their national record and they get a final swim. We had a girl swim with us this past year that was Venezuelan, and she was the first Venezuelan female ever to make the finals of the Olympics. So it's a humongous thing for her. It's just a little different pressure than standing up and making commitments to win events at that level. Good women's team. We're kind of we'll grow into the season a little bit. Men's team a little bit different, pretty experienced. We've got a few guys that have some Olympic experience. Got a couple guys that have been finalists at the NC2A meet, so we feel pretty comfortable. It's a good men's team, but again, you never know the dual meet season. It kind of depends on which team puts the focus on that given day. We're a little more along the lines that nothing really matters at the end of the year. No one's going to really care what happened in October later in the year, but on the day you swim it matters a lot. Recruiting is kind of a different animal. It never really stops. It's not like there's one special season. And if I was making a recommendation to high school kids out there, don't wait till your senior year. One of the best things to do is get out a little bit your sophomore year and junior year. Get a list of schools that you think you might be interested in, and do some unofficial visits. Go with your parents, take a look at the campus, drop in unexpected and talk to the coach. Watch you practice. I think you get a truer feel for what the university's like than what you do in all the recruiting hype. It might help you make your decisions a little bit later. And then I always told athletes when I was coaching at the high school level, then you walk into that summer after your junior year, you should have narrowed down a pretty good idea of 3 or 4 schools that you're really kind of interested in, and it makes the process move a whole lot smoother. Our training program in Florida, we try to put a focus on the athlete, giving the athlete being the best possible athlete they can, not just a collegiate swimmer, but we've got a lot of people interested in long course, interested in international competition. Requires a little different focus sometimes. So this past year we had a couple athletes redshirt. We had maybe our best female athlete, Elizabeth Beisel. We did some things that maybe hurt her a little bit during the short course season, but we felt pretty strongly she had a chance to do well at the Olympics. So we're going to do what's best for the individual. A lot of that is communication between the athlete and the coach, what direction they're going. We've always taken the approach. I'm a big believer that swimming is a very important part of their life. It's really nice, but it's not a full-time job. High school, you're in class 30 hours a week. College, major load, you're only 15 hours. That gives you 15 extra hours to study, plenty of time, all the travel time goes away. So there's plenty of time to be a good student. And when you put the academic help, the tutors and everything with it. So we've got a real strong academic program, school. We encourage people to go for their highest goals in the water. We would like to see the same thing academically. We've always had a lot of people, we're averaging at least 1, maybe 2 a year. Sometimes we go into med school and dental school. We've got a couple in big-time engineering programs. We have several there in law school. We've got a couple in nursing programs. A lot of business majors and finance and things like that. So from that standpoint, it's available. There's not many majors you can't do in college. We've got a couple aerospace engineering majors, a couple guys be pilots. We've got a combined program at Florida. There's some tremendous advantages to having a combined program. The NC2A, when you combine the men's and women's program, you actually pick up an extra staff person. It gives you a whole lot more flexibility in what you can do from the standpoint of having different practice groups because you've got way more staff. In a single program, single gender program, they've got a head coach and an assistant coach, and then maybe share a diving coach. In a combined program, we have 5 coaches plus a diving coach, and the diving coach is full-time, and we still have access to volunteer coaches, so it gives us a lot more flexibility in what we do. We're really fortunate in Florida. We take a training trip every year, fully funded, absolutely no problem. We get great pool time as much as we want, sleep in a real comfortable, great environment, eat whatever we want. We go to the University of Florida in Gainesville. It's a nice place. The weather's fantastic. We control the facilities. We sleep in our own bedrooms. It gives us a really unique opportunity because since we do that, we don't give up a whole lot of travel days going other places. So it allows the athlete to maybe stay an extra day or 2 at home over Christmas, train with their home club, see their parents. It allows us a lot of flexibility when we do come back train. We aren't cramped into 6 or 8 lanes. We don't have a time constriction. There's no classes going on, so it allows us to really zero in on the specifics getting ready for the second semester, and it comes at a key time. Talent is overrated, but it's important. Work ethic is not overrated. You got to have it. You're not going to be successful at the highest levels unless you're just one of those super talents, and even then you will meet limitations if you don't have a good work ethic. I think an ability to focus on the task at hand, being able to set some long-term goals and work towards them. Certainly, you got to have some natural skills, and you got to develop those, but you can refine those all the time and make them better. And then the thing I've seen the really great ones do that most people don't understand, they know how to go to the well and hurt themselves. They flat out don't care. They have an ability to find that other year, no matter how tired they are, no matter how bad they hurt. I tell athletes all the time, Janet Evans had in front of her logbook one year a quote from Winston Churchill: "Sometimes your best isn't good enough, you just got to do what's required." And I think the really great ones have that sort of ability. I think that from a coaching standpoint, the best thing for me personally, it's really nice when Ryan Lochte wins the Olympics. You feel like you have some little impact on it. But I don't think it's any more important than the email I get from a kid that swam 20 years ago saying, "Wow, I'm really glad to see you at the Olympics, but I wanted to thank you for all the things you did because the skills I learned in the swimming pool at practice are the same things that made me successful in my business." I think that's way, way more important than whether you win or lose or how fast you swim. But having a high goal in what you do in swimming allows that to be constructive, because it's no different than someone going out in the business community. They want to be the president of the company, or they want to start their own business. They're going to have to work really hard at it and have goals. So I think there's some relevant skills there that relate to the rest of their life. There's an aspect to it that isn't fun. We're back to learning skills that you're using in your life. I don't care what job you're in or what profession you're in or what. You can be the most respected doctor in the world. There's days and things about your job that you don't like. I think that those are the things that also make you a really good athlete. If you're in the pool, how well you do in those things you don't like is every bit as important as you do the things that you do like. So I think that that becomes a team camaraderie thing. You've got team goals, you're working towards it. You organize things away from the pool that are social functions that put you in the same dynamic. You look for new ways to challenge people at practice. I think at the collegiate level it's much harder because there is a little more of a win-type mentality. So you've got to, back to recruiting again, you have to recruit people that have those type of goals. If you don't get people that have those type of goals and you're in that type of environment, then they will be unhappy no matter what you do. So you've got to find direction for them, goals that fit with where you're going with the team.